Hey, Lindy Berry here. I'm checking in with you guys. It's been a little while. I just want to let you guys know. I went through a horrible stall where I didn't lose anything for a month. Right now I'm at 10 weeks post-surgery. And my stall was, surprise, surprise, during the month of December because I went from, liquids to solids at that time. I could all of a sudden eat anything I wanted. Granted I got full after 3 bites, but anyway, it resulted in a stall. And I don't know if the stall was just normal. Stalls are very normal, so I hear. Everybody goes through them, even if they're eating right. But I wasn't eating right because here's the thing. Or I was eating right. I just wasn't listening to my body. Because here's the thing, I am not going low carb. I think I've told you guys this before, but I'm feeling brave enough just to be confident about it. I have decided I don't want to be on a diet for the rest of my life. So I am going to eat everything in moderation. And that sounds like a big joke, but I'm going to tell you why it's not. It's because I do not, and I have not, for about a year, felt like I'm not addicted to sugar anymore. And I want to show you why, okay? Because if there is one thing, if you are listening to this and you have not had surgery yet, if there is one thing I could impress upon you, it is deal with your food issues. Deal with them, because no matter how much you think you've dealt with them, you're going to deal with them even more after you've had surgery. I know I have, and I'm so glad that I dealt with my food issues. All the things I have recommended, all the things I've said are important. There is one thing that I would recommend as the most important thing you can do before you have surgery, and that is this. Read this book, Intuitive Eating by Evelyn Tribole. Do the program, revolutionary program that works. It didn't work for me in the way she said it would. It worked at first, like every diet works at first, for losing weight, okay? But what it worked for was my head. It got me out of the food addiction, proved to me I couldn't have a food addiction, which is hard to prove to me. I'd spent 10 years in therapy for having a food addiction, convinced completely I had a food addiction. Who could have known that in 1 year my food addiction could be gone, okay? So this is my big plug for that book. And the reason I'm telling you this, 10 weeks post-op, is because, by the way, my stall broke. I'm so ADD, I just jump all around. My stall broke, I'm losing weight, I'm doing great. I've lost 32 pounds so far. I'm back to losing about, 1.5 pounds every few days. It's been great. And I am eating carbs at the same time, and I'm not trying to be... There's going to be people that need to be carb-free, and that's fine. I personally couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I don't know. You'll see if it actually works for me, and maybe I won't get there, but I believe I will. I believe I will lose all my weight. And the reason I want you guys to do this book, if you have not had surgery yet, to learn intuitive eating and to learn how to overcome your food addictions and the messed up stuff in your head, is because I believe that support after surgery is super important, and I'm part of tons of support groups. And I would say that we are some of the most messed up people out there with food, which would make sense. I mean, you get to a point where you have to have surgery to help you with your food issues. You're pretty messed up, right? I mean, we're pretty messed up. I'm pretty messed up. I've spent years with food being the focus of my life, the indicator of whether I was happy, whether I was good or bad, So, but when I listen to these people and they're, I want to recommend that they look into this book and go through the intuitive eating program. But the problem is it's really designed for someone that hasn't had surgery. There's step-by-step instructions on how to go through this stuff, and it really helped me. And I would say it's the best prep for bariatric surgery out there. She may not like me recommending her book that way, but it was great for me because I feel like now, post-surgery, I am losing weight and I am working hard because surgery is not the easy way out. People who say that are the people that haven't had surgery. It has not been easy for me. And if I am not listening to my body, and then then I'm not losing weight. I stay the same. I stay stalled if I do not listen to my body. But when I'm listening to my body, which is something I never could do before because I didn't trust my body, because my body lied to me all the freaking time. But now I trust my body because I'm listening to my body. And I learned how to do that with intuitive eating. And it's not something you can do without reading the book. So read the book, do the program before surgery, because I think it would be extremely difficult to do it after surgery, because your stomach is teeny tiny. And I don't know, you could probably do it. If you're post-surgery listening to this, go ahead, give it a try. But oh, even just recommending that doesn't feel right. So maybe not. Before surgery, learn, get rid of those head stuff, you know, work with all the issues you have around food, you know, and then get the surgery and hit it out of the park. You're gonna do awesome. I feel like I'm doing awesome, and I'm eating in moderation. And you know what the coolest thing about having surgery is? When you try, it works. Before surgery, I would work so hard. Gosh, it felt like pushing a boulder up a hill, and I would get a little teeny result or no result. I was reading some of my old journal entries today, and I was writing in this old, you know, reading. It was my weigh-in day. I only weighed once a month back then because the scale drove me crazy. And I had just been, you know, abstinent from sugar and carbs and all these things for 30 days perfectly. Because when it's an addiction, you treat it, it has to be black and white, it has to be perfect, right? So I had been abstinent perfectly, and it was mind-blowingly difficult. There were lots of, I wrote down all the reasons why it was easier, but it was mind-blowingly difficult. And I was saying, oh, I was freaking out because I had to weigh myself the next day, and would the scale reflect all my hard work? And, you know, it just made me cringe even reading it. It's like I didn't want to read it because I didn't want that thought processes I had back then to, like, infect me. So, anyway, so I now though, I do something and I see a difference. I increase my protein, I drop extra weight. I increased my water to 64 ounces like the doctor's been telling me to do all along. I did that last week, and I've been losing another 1.5 pounds every 3 days, like boom, boom, boom. And you know, maybe some people lose faster than that, but I don't. I'm a slow loser. I have hypothyroid issues, I have PSOS, whatever. I have hormone issues, and anyway, I'm just a slow loser. I always have been. I expected to be after this surgery. I'm worried I wouldn't lose anything, but it is coming off, and I see it. Do you see it in my face? I am getting thinner. I'm down 3 sizes in my pants, and anyway, I'm feeling good. You don't want to know, I don't know if I've told you guys this yet, but one of my biggest non-scale victories, I went hiking at my sister's house. Just when I say hiking, but like really, she just lives on these like mammoth hills, right? And so if you walk around her neighborhood, you're like going up and down these mammoth hills, and then she has all these pathways in the forest. And last time I'd done it was right before surgery. It was Halloween time. I was actually on the liquid diet. I was dying on my pre-surgery liquid diet. I was dying. I was panting. I was like, I couldn't hardly breathe going up the hills. It was embarrassing. And this last time, we were all walking together. I was hardly even breathing heavy. I was at the front of the pack, not trailing at the end of the pack. I was fine, and it felt good. It felt so good. I was like, am I the same person? And no, I am not the same person. 10 weeks post-surgery, this is the best thing I have ever done. But if I could do it, best thing I could have ever done to prepare for this, and I wouldn't have ever guessed this when I started it, because surgery was not even an option when I started this. But the intuitive eating, do it if you're pre-surgery. And if you're post-surgery, just do whatever your doctor says. So if he says go low carb, just go low carb. But anyway, but I'm just really glad. Oh man, just the idea that I could be a regular weight, that I could walk up hills and hike in mountains and and feel good while doing it, not like I'm dying, and all while eating a regular diet, you know? Gosh, when I say I eat carbs, I don't mean that I eat junk all the time. You know, I try to eat healthy. I've always liked healthy food, but I just always couldn't control the sugar, and the intuitive eating helped me control the sugar. So I'm gonna wrap it up. That's all I got for you, and this is what worked for me. I'm not a doctor. Don't think that what's gonna work for me is gonna work for you, because goodness gracious, we are complicated creatures. We are complicated creatures, and it has taken me a lifetime to learn about myself, and I'm still relearning stuff. So keep chugging, keep trying to learn what you need to learn about yourself, and good luck, and I'll see you guys all later with my next update.